Good morning, everybody. So it's 9:30. We'll get started here. My name is Jonathan Sweeney. I'm a lead SOC analyst here with WAPAC Lab. Today's weekly threat brief contains information gathered from open source and WAPAC Labs collections over the last week. For the agenda today, we're going to be briefly discussing recent reporting, open source, and social media, as well as 7 days of trending and keylogger activity. Recently, the WAPAC Lab SOC has researched Laka Gaga ransomware on behalf of our customers. Initially discovered in January of 2019, the name of this threat comes from the path used for compiling the source code into an executable discovered by malware hunting team. It's made headlines recently with the attack on the Norwegian company Norsk Hydro, which is one of the largest aluminum companies in the world. Hydro also has more employees in the United States than any other Norwegian company. When encrypting the files, the ransomware will append the .locked extension to the processed files. Then once the malware is done encrypting the data on the computer, it'll drop a ransom note on the desktop named readmenow.txt, which includes instructions to contact Proton Mail or o2.pl email address for payment instructions. As proof of decryption abilities, the ransom note does offer to decrypt 2 files for free. We have yet to find out if they're actually able to decrypt those files, though. The WAPAC Lab SOC has a list of indicators that can be imported into our clients' IPS systems, but the saving grace in this instance was that Norsk Hydro had backups on hand. It's still unclear if the files can be recovered if the ransom is paid, so we recommend keeping IPS systems and blacklists up to date to prevent infiltration as well as regular backups. In cyber news, over the last 7 days, we see a change in the threat actors topping the list. Last week, we had Cult of the Dead Cow in the top spot. This week, we see FNLmp4 taking the #1 spot. Injector Team is in second place with Hezbollah, Fancy Bear, and Anon Venezuela in the following spots. Analysts at Flashpoint discovered references to the FNLmp4 front company Combi Security in backend PHP code, connecting the group to a recent SQL rat campaign, which has also made the malware top 5. Hezbollah is a militant group based out of Lebanon. We've seen them in the top 5 for a few weeks now. Often associated with the Russian GRU, Fancy Bear typically targets victims in the US and Europe. And targeted industries this week are software, IT, finance, telecoms, and consumer goods has also creeped into the top 5 this week. For malware this week, we have Laka Gaga ransomware, which we spoke about earlier. Dark IRC Trojan, which uses internet relay chat. The IRC connection serves as a backdoor, allowing an attacker to perform a variety of attacks on the compromised computer. Pegasus mobile phone spyware has been attributed to the Israeli NSO group. UPater malware, upon installation, will download and execute additional malware on the affected system. Some of the downloaded malware by UPater is Zeus, Krylock, Dereza, and Rovsnik variants. Top cyber stories in social media include Facebook exposing millions of users' passwords in plain text to thousands of Facebook employees. Essentially, the employees were allowed to go in and search. From what I read, it was approximately 2,000 employees, but they had access to millions of users' passwords. And deadly flaws in the Medtronic implantable defibrillator. As well as an article about FEMA leaking the data of 2.3 million victims of natural disasters. Last week, we recorded approximately 700,000 new indicators. These collections included our threat recon, keylogger, malicious emails, and our sinkhole traffic. The numbers on this slide show the new indicators in the respective collections. These indicators are available to paid Red Sky Alliance members weekly, as well as our blacklists, which come in CSV, FortiSIM, and Proofpoint formats. These are APT and botnet indicators collected last week. We had 249 unique APT indicators in the past 7 days. This amount is down about 201 indicators from last Monday. You can use your 2-factor authentication to log into CTAC to download the APT indicators discussed today. Please contact us on Slack or via email if you have any questions. Topping the list again this week is Sikipot and Maudi APT. Tabsi Tang and Carbonac has creeped in, and they remain in 3rd and 4th this week. The botnet activity over the last 7 days remains pretty consistent with prior trending. 31 Jinrong Street is still a strong leader, followed by AS9829, which is the national internet backbone for India. This has remained pretty constant over the past month. The open source data correlates pretty closely with the data observed in our collections. On the cloud security front, we still see the same culprits as last week with Peak 10 and Amazon. TierPoint remains in the caution risk environment this week. So our blacklists are published weekly. On the right side, you can see some of our keylogger stats. This week, we observed 74,293 connections from new unique IP addresses to WAPAC Lab sinkhole domains. Free RSA members receive Tailline products, and paid RSA members receive complete blacklist and API access. For members that are not set up to ingest intelligence, Trusted Internet is the managed security service provider, and we use Fortinet and Proofpoint products to push intel and defend customer networks. Please let me know if you have any questions, comments, or feedback. Thank you.